at Levi's Stadium. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. First down, Carmichael. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara, with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw, Carmichael. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Looking to throw on 2nd down, Carmichael. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them, and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Smith. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Niners on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Carmichael. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. On the give, this is Akers. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. As we step aside here in this first quarter. To throw. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for L.A. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the handoff, running left is Akers. Hard running at the 15. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Carmichael escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Back to throw. Carmichael. Touchdown, Rams. Tutu Atwell. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agreed totally. Excellent bounce-back. Tremendous poise. Confidence never lost. And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
7-7, our score after 1. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. These two division rivals are a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10. And it was the visiting Niners who won that ball game. So they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Santa Clara. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Lance to throw it. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 16.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On the handoff, Sermon. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Lance going to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
This to the outside, it's Sermon. And the 49ers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Sermon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Sermon, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second and 5. On the ground, it's Akers. Down to the 25. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that last throw moves him past 27,989 yards for his career. So that means he moves ahead of the blonde bomber, Terry Bradshaw, on the all-time list.
And boy, he loved to throw it downfield, didn't he? That's why he was the blonde bomber. Remember, he'd throw it downfield to John Stallworth and Lynn Swann. It was gorgeous. Big throws, big plays. Terry Bradshaw.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Lance. They'll leave that underneath to Sermon, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw, it's Lance. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. And they'll go for it. Lance. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Touchdown. Trey Sermon. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And Shark hauls it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off play action. Carmichael. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And it'll be intercepted. Let it well, and it's picked. And the 49ers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Yeah, he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On 2nd and 12, Lance. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. Throwing left side, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They give to Sermon out of the gun, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a run with Akers. Powers through. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game. And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. On 1st down, Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down. A give for Sermon running right. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. That's going to be caught by Samuel. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Lance. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Lance throwing complete here to Sermon. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 13-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the gun, Sermon. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. Drops this one down to Sermon. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. They'll run for it. Sermon. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Trey Sermon with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Niners are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Now the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
It's brought in by Harris. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Carmichael. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris. Touchdown, L.A. Jacob Harris, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Rams have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Lance now to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to have the 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On second down, another shot for Sermon. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Looking to throw. Lance, and able to haul it in is Kittle. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams 33. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Running left is Sermon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They run once more with Sermon. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On third down, here's Sermon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is indeed good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball.
It got his man complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for San Francisco, they'll finish a game below 500 at 8-9 on the year. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, the loss means they finish with a mark of 10 wins and 7 losses. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card.